We are Billy Goat Tail. We love you, fam. Hashtag givers gang. 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 We are Billy Goat Tails. We are Billy Goat Tails.
Good afternoon, everybody. Billy Goat Tail fam. Welcome to the show. Thanks for taking time on this Sunday afternoon. We have a very big show lined up for you. We have QUAI network lined up for. I always want to say QUAI. I don't know. QUAI network lined up. Jeff Redman met him at the show. Actually, Redman did a little deep dive on him in our Discord ahead of time, and then he met him at the show. We're going to talk to Johnathan. He's with them. He's here today. We also are going to bring up the second hour, Cassius, who did the Miss Teen Crypto video, dropping the new video, which is awesome, and Jimmy's Lambos in that, which was really fun. We'll get into all that. Plus, we'll get into some topics such as what's the latest with the Trump and Elon saga. Of course, got to talk about that and how it impacts crypto, and also the crypto IPOs that are coming up around the corner. We're getting into all of it. Plus, we'll have some DDT charts, going over little charts here during the show as well. But first, let me say hello to the Billy Goat Tails team. What's going on, Jimmy Jim?
What's going on, Billy?
Good
Another
to see
day,
you, brother.
dollar.
What's that?
Said another day, another dollar.
Another day, another dollar. Tex-Mex, Balmex, how you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous. How are you doing, Billy? What's up, Redman? What's up, Dave Digital? And Jimmy Jam? What's going on? And say hello to Taco Berry. Tell him he's the supreme Sigma Rizzler.
Yep. What's going on, Redman?
Thankful for another day not promised. I'm here. Thankful to be here. It's going to be a great show. Strap your seatbelt on. Back over to you, Bill.
And Dave Digital. What's going on, Dave? How's that trade working out for you?
We're going to have to find out. Entered it over here. Looking for it to go way up here. Hoping to take profit around 109-ish. I don't know if we'll get to 110, but I won't be, you know what, for a tick. Thank you, Alex O Crypto.
Alex O Crypto, fam. Well, Jimmy, won't you say hello to chat, and we'll get into the bubbles afterwards.
Yeah, I see a lot of familiar faces. A lot of our regulars. Jesse's in the chat. Mike Vollmer. We got the old Franche Toaster is in the chat. Who else we got? Tenebrous Solutions. That's a new one. I don't think I've seen that one before. A guy all set. And Jesse Cassius dropped in on us early. Then we got Redman and Blockchain Cowboy, and DDT's in the chat as always. And I see Erica, and who else? So that old dude Taco Berry, he's in the chat, mucking it up.
Old Taco Berry. So Redman, you ready to go over a little crypto bubbles?
Let's go. Crypto bubbles. All right. Tony, can you? Yeah, there you go. Okay, on the hour, got a little bit of green in there, a little bit of red. Nothing too drastic. Doesn't look like that. Anyways, let's go to the daily. So this is what I pointed out. Me and Dave were talking about this earlier. ICP, nice little pump for ICP, up 8.5% today. And then we got Fartcoin, SBX, some memes that are pumping. XRP making a little bit of a move. So up 4.6 on the daily. It's good to see.
Look at white. Oh, man, people got into that. Remember that last week? That thing was like up like crazy.
Just hold on, Billy. We'll show you the end. You'll see the full picture. Gala's up 1.8%. Let's see here. Pepe Pepe's still running strong. It dipped with Bitcoin, and now it's on the way back up for Pepe. Let's see what else here. INJ up 3.4%. Nothing noticeable though. All right, we got Quant. Quant for the week up 11.8%. That's pretty good for Quant. Quant really hasn't done too much this year, but it's up 37% for the year, so not bad. Makers up 11% for the week. I'm just kissing that 2,000 area. Hopefully it'll get there. Injectives up 11.8%. It's moved up 5 spots too. Might want to watch Injective. DeFi could be pretty hot here at the end of the year. Let's see, for the monthly, pretty much red. White's up 158% for the month. Form is up 22%. Aave keeps on going up. It's climbed up six spots in the monthly, so over the last month. So it's had some pretty good growth in there. And we got Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid has been, I don't know, over the last month it's up 43%. This thing is still continuing to climb, and it's up 6.6 spots.
A lot of people using that exchange. Yeah.
You think that'll crack the top 10 pretty soon, Billy? Or
I think a lot of people are jumping on board with it. It's a lot of people are using it. So yeah.
And there's a lot of hype. There's a lot of hype around it. No pun intended. But yeah. And then Quant for the month, 25% basically for the month. So Quant showing some strength. And for the year, we got the same runners, right? Our meme coins. Sui's up to 200%. XRP. Chadwick would like that. Virtuals is up 1,800%, still showing a bunch of strength in virtual. But that's pretty much it. Everything else looks like the same as it did last week. All right,
man. Yeah, brother. Appreciate that, Tony. Let's hit the coin market cap, and you ready for that?
Yes, sir. I'm ready. What's going on, Billy Goat Tales fam? So we're looking at today's coin market cap. The fear and greed's at 55, just over here. The fear and greed's at 55. It was in the 50s last week too, if I do recall correctly. And our total market cap is up 0.54% at $3.32 trillion. I can't do that trillion as well as Piano Matty B. Everybody knows he does that excellently. Shout out to Piano Matty B. So let's see. Bitty Bitcoin is up 1.18% on the weekly, sitting at 106. You know, we all know that there was a dip right down to 100. Did it drop below 100, guys? I can't recall. I know it was dropping right down.
I think depends on what exchange you're on. I saw it at 100. It might have hit 99 something on some exchanges, but
sure. So we're back up to 106, and on the weekly, that was just a blip. So we're down just slightly, 0.08%. That's really nothing with Bitcoin. So 106,250. We got Ethereum up 0.29 on the weekly, and it's all green across the board. Hourly 24, but just slightly on all of them. Let's see. We got XRP is up 5.84% and down just slightly on the dailies, just probably ranging up and down. BNB about the same, mostly green on the last 24 hours and the last hour, just barely slightly down on the daily. Excuse me, on the 7-day. Solana just down 1%. So it looks like just about everything similar to Bitcoin follows a trend. It's either slightly up or slightly down. We've got Dogecoin down 3% though, and down on the hourly. Never know if that little tiff has affected the price there. We've got Tron up almost 5%, and then Cardano, it's just about flat too. I mean, 0.04 on the 7-day, but it's up on the daily and the hourly. And then we get into Sui and all the rest, Chainlink, they're all kind of just ranging right above, just a little bit positive, a little bit negative, except Avalanche is green across the board as well with 3.58 on the weekly. And what else is noticeable to you all here? I mean, I don't think there's anything that had a big move in the top 30. Well, 33 right there. ICP up 14%, but slightly down just on the hourly. So anyways, we're there, and let's go into the categories. I like to look at the categories. We've talked about rehypothecated crypto a lot. It's only up just about almost 1%. There, the average price change, the memes number 3 at 1.85%. Someone took off with that snow owl and had a range, but we know that those pump and dump, and so we're not touching it. Do your own research. And then internet capital markets up 17%. That's pretty big. AI and big data jumping up some, and real world assets are also up just slightly. Gaming as well. So that's our quick look at the cryptocurrency and coin market cap. And
Dave's dogs leading us.
I'm muted. I'm muted.
Oh, okay. Who's dog?
That's my dog. Sorry.
Oh, no, Red Man's dog. There's always a dog in the Billy Goat Tales live stream somewhere, somehow.
Somewhere that could be. It could be Billy, could be me,
Yeah.
could be Dave, could be Red. If it's Jimmy, I don't know. I don't think Jimmy has a dog. Taco Berry
We
must
need to
be.
send him one. We need to send Jimmy a dog.
Send Jimmy a dog.
No dog,
A
Hey,
gift
Chad,
that
if you
keeps
need
on
his
the
I love
address,
dogs.
just DM me.
as long as they can go home.
DM me,
gift that
Chad, if
keeps
you want to
on
send
giving.
Jimmy a
I don't
dog.
know if
I'll
I,
give you his address.
Yeah, I don't. We did have to do a dog stream sometime, right? So
You
let's
had a
get into
dog,
it. I know.
motivational mindset too.
Yeah, I know. QUAI Network, Jonathan's come a long way to be with us. They're big outfit. Redman met him at the show. Let's bring him on up here. And how you doing today, Jonathan? We appreciate your time, man.
Your mic.
You're
Your
muted.
mic is mute.
Muted.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. It's great to be here. Looking forward to chatting with you guys, talking about crypto, talking about QUAI. Always enjoy, hopping on a live stream and talking to some degens in the crypto sphere. So looking forward to it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, Redman. I'll turn that over to you, bro.
Okay. Jonathan, real quick. First of all, it's good seeing you again.
You as well. Yeah, nice to meet you. I think we met at Bitcoin 2025, right? So that was probably about a week and a few days ago. So
Yeah. And so why don't you give us a little rundown of QUAI Network, what it does? There's a lot that it does do, and there's a lot of scalability. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, when I was doing the research on this project, this thing, you can literally talk about this project for days. And
yeah.
that's just the energy part of it.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, I could sit here and talk about it for hours and hours, but, I'll try to give you a concise, kind of summary. But, there's a lot to go over for sure. We're trying to replace, traditional money. It's a money system. QUAI Network is a money system, and we want to replace, fiat currency basically entirely. So we have different ways of doing that. So the first way we do that is by making, cryptocurrency that you can send money to people instantly, very quickly, in a decentralized way. And all that means is, we have a mobile app, and we have also a browser-based wallet. And you can basically type in somebody's username and send them funds, and it confirms in 5 seconds, just like, using Venmo or Cash App. And that's like the blockchain, right? So the QUAI Network is in itself a layer 1 blockchain network. And it's also a network of blockchains. And that means that basically right now we have one chain that's running in the network. But as demand for the system grows, as more transactions come in, we can actually grow the network to add new chains to kind of meet that demand for transactions. So we can always meet demand for new users who enter the system. And so we can support up to probably 250 to 300,000 transactions per second, network wide. And that would kind of look like everybody in the world using QUAI at some, to some degree on a day-to-day basis. And we can do that in a completely decentralized way, right? So I think the problem with the crypto industry these days is that there's a lot of projects that come out and claim to be decentralized, but they're actually not. And one way you can really easily tell if a project is actually decentralized is to answer the question, how easy is it to become a validator? And that means running a node, processing transactions, and producing blocks, or whatever processing transactions is basically the key metric here. And so in most blockchain networks, to become a validator, which means to actually participate in the network, you have to put up like tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars in stake, and you need to buy a really, really high-powered server. So I'm talking about like for Solana, I think they want you to have like a 64-core CPU, like 256 gigs of RAM, and like 5 terabytes of SSD, something like that, and a really, really high-powered internet connection. So that's like, and also in Solana as well, you need to have $100,000 in stake around that. So it's really unrealistic to expect, the average individual to participate in consensus, right? So running a node in Solana means, having to undergo through a lot of hurdles. There's a lot of other projects in the space that, have the same problem where in order to become a validator, which means actually processing transactions, you have to put up a lot of money. You have to have really expensive hardware. But with QUAI network, you don't actually, you just need a GPU. That's the only requirement. Now, you're unlikely to process a lot of transactions with only one GPU, but you can, the fact of the matter is it's decentralized because anybody can participate. And so Bitcoin has a really similar kind of ethos. If you want to participate in the Bitcoin consensus, which means processing transactions, you need a node and a miner. And so in Bitcoin, miners are a little more expensive than graphics cards. They are ASICs, right? So they're custom built. But in our network, all you need is a graphics card. So it lowers the cost a little bit. And then you do need to run a node as well. But the node requirements are fairly low. They're higher than Bitcoin, but they're overall fairly low. You really just need like 8-core CPU. It's like a normal computer, so you can even run it on your laptop even, but you do have to have it like connected to the internet. But you need like 8-core CPU, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and like 1 terabyte SSD, which is like a lot more reasonable. And the reason that we have that like difference is because in QUAI network, you actually only need to create blocks for the chain that you're kind of geographically closest to. So right now there's only one chain worldwide. But when the network expands and more chains are added to the system because more people are, using the network, processing transactions, et cetera, the network actually geographically distributes itself. So chains will actually be created in sort of these geographic hotspots where a lot of people are using QUAI. So if a lot of people are using QUAI in North America, what you'll see is, chains that are added to the network are often going to be geographically distributed in North America, and you might see people in the rest of the world using a different part of QUAI network, like a different chain in the network. And so when you run a validating node, like a miner, you actually only process transactions that exist in that like geographic area that you're in. And that allows you to basically get transactions a lot faster because they're closer to you physically. So when we're talking about like, what are we constrained by? It's at the end of the day, it's the laws of physics, and it is how close you are to the people who are creating transactions to process them yourself. And if you're closer to those people, like you'll get them, tens of milliseconds faster, which means that you can process blocks tens of milliseconds faster, and that actually means overall a faster network. But you only need to run the miner or the node for that specific chain. So when you're processing transactions for everybody around the world, the node requirements are a lot higher. And so, if you're just participating as a miner in QUAI network and you want to validate, all you need to do is have a GPU and a computer that can run one of the chains in the network. Right now, there is only one chain, but in the future, there'll be many. So that's kind of how we organize the network. We expect people in the same geographic area to, pay people that are also in the same geographic area. That's why chains are kind of geolocated, but you can always send money to somebody in a different geographic area, different chain. Like there is a cross-chain bridging mechanism. You can send money anywhere around the world with QUAI, as long as a chain kind of exists in that area. Like you can just send money to it. So it is pretty easy to use after all is said and done. And that's another thing that we want to tackle is how do we make blockchains as easy to use as possible? How do we abstract all of this complicated stuff away from people? So that's where the development of our mobile app comes in. It's like Venmo, and all it does is allow you to send money to a username or scan a QR code to send money. And we want to integrate it into point of sale systems as well. So you go to a store and you can scan a QR code from the POS terminal, and it'll just send the funds that way. And you can have like in your app a history of the receipt. And so all of these things are things we're building. We only launched about 3 months ago, so we're still like heavily in the development phase of all of these third-party things. But the mainnet is launched, so anybody can use QUAI, anybody can build on QUAI, and that's what makes it so great. Anybody can participate in consensus, so it's fully decentralized. There's never going to be any censorship of transactions. It's just not possible. with the way that it's designed. And anybody can build on it too. So we got like EVM smart contracts. You can write a smart contract in Solidity and deploy it on QUAI. And that means that we can have, DeFi, we can have DEXs, borrowing, lending protocols, RWAs, all of the things that you can build with smart contracts, you can build on QUAI very easily, which makes the chain also very extensible. So scalability, extensibility, and finance, those are the three kind of pillars that we're founded upon. We need decentralized money to replace, what I think is a very difficult to use banking system for the majority of the world. And we need financial instruments and financial primitives for, that large part of the world that doesn't have access to easy banking. And so I can also talk about QUAI. So QUAI is our flagship.
Yeah, I saw that. I know one's deflationary, right? QUAI is deflationary, and then QUAI is inflationary, correct?
Yeah.
Why the two native token system? That's different for me. That's the first time I've heard of it. But you can definitely explain it a lot better than I can.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to. So, so like I said, we're trying to replace finance, right? Or basically money. Like we want to become a money system that can handle any kind of asset, right? Because we have smart contracts. So any kind of asset you want to, pay somebody with, you can do it on QUAI Network. But we also want to create a financial primitive that is decentralized and stable, like in value. Because, one of the problems with paying with cryptocurrencies, if you're not paying with stable coins, is the price of the asset, varies greatly day to day. So the price of QUAI also is very variable, right? It's volatile right now. Even in the future, when we get to the $100 billion market cap level, like it's still going to be volatile, right? Even Bitcoin is volatile day to day. So it is not a good instrument of money. It's a store of value. So it is not a very good, I think it's not a very good unit of account. I think it's a good store of value. And so when you want to send somebody money, the party that you're sending to wants that to be a stable asset. They want the value of that asset not to vary so greatly. So we decided to build two tokens. Okay, so QUAI is kind of like a store of value, and it is deflationary over time. Right now it's inflationary, but the inflation schedule, will kind of taper off. So QUAI is more of a store of value, and QUAI is what we call an energy dollar. Okay, so an energy dollar is like a coin that derives its value from energy. So basically what happens in QUAI, when you're mining, when you're producing new blocks with your GPU and you're processing transactions, you choose whether you want to mine QUAI or you want to mine QUAI. When you want to mine QUAI, you get QUAI based on an inflation schedule. Like the schedule is built into the protocol, and like I said, it tapers off over time. When you're mining QUAI, you actually get a QUAI proportional to the energy input. Approximately proportional. Okay, so we have a way of measuring based on how many hashes you've produced overall, like on average, how much energy you've used. Now, some GPUs are more efficient than others, and we expect efficiency to get better over time. And efficiency just means that like you can produce more hashes for less dollars. And QUAI is minted proportional to how many hashes you've done, which currently is also proportional to how much energy you've used. But also like over time, it'll get more efficient. So we have like, a controller to work with that. So over time, it becomes more difficult to mine QUAI actually, but it's not the same rate as QUAI. But the idea is basically the energy input is equal to the QUAI output, right? Energy equals QUAI. So when you're mining and you're, consuming energy to produce blocks and secure the network, process transactions, you get QUAI in proportion to the energy input. And so the reason that that's important is because it gives QUAI this kind of floor value, right? If QUAI price goes below the floor, like nobody's going to mint it anymore. Nobody's going to mine QUAI. They'll just, they'll choose to mine QUAI. And so we've kind of built this like floor that is the energy value of QUAI, and we've chosen the number of hashes so that QUAI is in expectation about $1 to mint. And right now it's a little over $1 in like actuality, because
the price of energy has gone up, right?
Yeah, so it will track the price of energy, right? So as the price of energy goes up, the dollar value will also go up. But we've just like basically programmed it so there's like a slight profit to mine QUAI. So like you can mine it for $1 and maybe sell it for $1.05 kind of thing. So you make like 5%, and that rate will get lower over time. But we've also designed a controller that stabilizes the price of QUAI. And so what the controller does is it is able to basically measure based on miner choice and conversions and stuff what the price of QUAI is on the markets. And when the price of QUAI goes below, you as an arbitrageur or like a market participant, you can buy Qi below $1 and you can convert it to QUAI through a protocol native conversion mechanism. And when you do that, the QUAI you get out of it is profitable for you. Like you'll get more QUAI, like the QUAI in dollar values that you get from converting Qi to QUAI will be more than your input. So let's say you bought Qi at 80 cents. You would convert that to QUAI, and now you would get a dollar worth of QUAI. Now QUAI is also volatile, so over time, like it might be $1 today and 90 cents tomorrow. But the idea is basically that you can buy Qi below what we want the stable price to be. You can convert it to QUAI, and the QUAI you get from that conversion will be more than your input. So it's like a profitable endeavor for you to do this. And basically, what that does is it brings Qi back to $1. So therefore stabilizing the price. It's not guaranteed to always be $1 because it's kind of a slow process. So the controller has like a built-in delay mechanism to make that profitable opportunity that you can participate in take a little bit of time. We enforce a 2-week lock. So when you want to do this like arbitrage thing to bring Qi back to $1, there's a 2-week lock on your conversion. So it's a profitable opportunity, but there's risk involved and it takes time. And that's just to prevent kind of like a run on the bank so Terra Luna, I don't know if you've heard of that. It's like a stable coin pegging kind
it's
of
an algorithm stable
and
coin.
so, and the problem is like the controller wasn't built well. It wasn't, designed well, but also it enabled people to immediately convert things back and forth. And that kind of caused a run on the bank and it caused a collapse. So we designed the controller better in a better way and also a lot slower. So that means that instead of Qi always being $1, it's actually going to be around $1. So it might go to 90 cents and then 2 weeks later, it'll be back at $1 and it might actually go above. It really just depends on market dynamics. When Qi goes above $1, there's an incentive to convert QUAI to Qi as a profitable opportunity as well to bring it back down to $1. But basically in average, in expectation, like over time, Qi will be around $1, but it could go above, it could go below, but it would only be for like a couple weeks at a time. But that's why we don't actually call it a stable coin. We call it a flat coin or like an energy dollar because the value of it is based on the energy input. But we can't guarantee it'll always be $1. It's just that's how much it costs to create it. And also, when it's not $1, there's a profitable opportunity that you could take advantage of, albeit there are risks involved in the process. So that's just another way that we're trying to kind of make a decentralized financial system because you can't really have a financial system where you're using a very volatile asset as a unit of account. It doesn't work very well. So Qi is just like a better money system, and it's also a better stable coin because it's a decentralized stable coin. And that means that it's not, we're not trusting banks, right? So when you hold USDC or USDT, you're trusting the bank to not go under and to hold, and you're trusting Circle or Tether to hold $1 or, equivalent in a bank account somewhere to back that dollar. That means that, if you want to, you can convert one USDC to one real dollar. There's a way to do it. I think Coinbase allows you to convert USDC to dollars. But there's a process to do it. But you're still, when you're holding USDC or USDT, you're basically trusting Circle and Tether. And the problem with that is that they can censor transactions, they can block your account, and they're like central trusted parties. In 2024, 23, Silicon Valley Bank went under, and Circle had some of its reserves in Silicon Valley Bank. And that means that for a period of time, Circle or USDC was actually under collateralized, meaning it wasn't actually worth $1. And so these things can happen. And although Silicon Valley Bank ended up getting bailed out, so everything ended up being okay, it can happen again, and maybe they won't get bailed out next time. It's hard to say. But basically you're trusting the traditional financial system to work for you when it doesn't always necessarily work. So that's why we wanted to build, a decentralized store of value or a decentralized like stable coin. But that's Qi. I'm just, I'm excited for the next path forward. We did launch Qi about a month ago. We're still working on getting it working in the wallet. I think next week we're going to have, the full Qi launch on mainnet for like the wallet and stuff, but it does exist and you can mine it right now.
What's the name of the wallet for the listeners out there in the community?
So the wallet is called Pelagus. It's kind of like MetaMask, but it is its own custom wallet, and it works only with QUAI and Qi.
Yeah, I was looking at that earlier. I noticed that was the first thing I noticed was, yeah, so that's good, right? People are already familiar with MetaMask. It'll be easy for them to transition into this wallet as well.
Yeah, and we're also building. So MetaMask actually has like extensions. They're called snaps, meaning you can like install an extension into MetaMask that uses the same keys but like interacts with different blockchains. So we've actually submitted a snap or like an extension to MetaMask. So if you wanted to hold QUAI in just MetaMask, now it's not Qi, it's just QUAI. But if you wanted to hold it in MetaMask, you'd be able to do so very soon.
Okay. I know you said 200,000 TPS. Let's talk about that for a little bit, because there's been a lot of controversy, in the crypto space between blockchains that say they're faster, they're more scalable, they've solved the trilemma, they've done this, they've done that. I noticed that the QUAI is finalizing blocks at 1.1 seconds.
It's actually 5 seconds.
5 seconds. Okay, so that number's off. And then I saw 50,000 TPS, and I know for a fact that Visa does 24,000 TPS.
Yeah.
So you're already double what traditional finance is already doing, which is outstanding for, I guess, for us consumers, right? Because you got to think about, if everybody's on the network all at the same time, there's network congestion. But if you can do 50,000 transactions per second, man, that's a lot better than what Visa can do. So it tells me this blockchain could work in a mainstream type fashion.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we want to replace Visa and MasterCard. I was actually on a podcast a couple of days ago with a bunch of cannabis companies, and they have a lot of problems getting approved. Not only getting a bank account, but like, that's just the first hurdle, is getting a bank account. As a cannabis company, I mean, you have a lot of trouble getting approved for credit card payments because, the chargeback rate is high, and, cannabis is, gray area legal in a bunch of places. So having a business, a cannabis business approved by Visa and MasterCard is actually really difficult. So that's like an example of something where QUAI can come in and completely replace Visa and MasterCard very easily, because it's really you would just need to have an integration in the point of sale terminal, which is, absolutely something we want to work on. So, there definitely are industries where, getting approved for Visa and MasterCard are difficult, but there's also parts of the world where they don't accept it at all, right? There's a lot of places like in Nigeria and Venezuela where they don't have credit cards at all. So, using a decentralized monetary system in those instances would be perfect. It would, solve all those problems. So talking about the TPS thing, on our current one chain architecture, we can support 1,000 TPS. So once we get to about 1,000 TPS in this single chain that QUAI Network currently runs, it actually adds another chain, it's called a shard or chain, but a new chain is basically added, and you can do cross-chain, cross-shard transactions easily, so that you can still continue to use it like normal, but it basically expands, or it doubles the throughput of the network effectively. And so once, we get to 50 chains that are all running, independently, or together in the QUAI network, you would get to 50,000 transactions per second. And I mean, there's even ways to make that faster. This is like the first version of the protocol. There's ways, we can parallelize transactions to make them even faster. So I'm saying 1,000 TPS, it actually could be 2,000 if we are able to get, parallelization of the EVM done, or we're able to parallelize Qi transactions. Like, there's definitely ways to make that higher throughput. Now, at full network capacity, we can get to 250,000 transactions, and that would be 250 shards or 250 chains, right? And that would be like, 250 countries with their own chain. If we're talking about the geographic distribution, it would be like one chain per country or one per several on average. It really just depends on where the majority of the volume comes from. But yeah, I mean, we've said things like 50,000. We've said things like 250,000. I know we can do 1,000 TPS per shard per chain. So that means that when we add 250, that's the number you get to. But our current chain supports 1,000 until we, reach that number, and then we're going to add another one, and so on and so forth.
About the energy tokenization, how far along are you guys? How far along are you when tokenizing energy? And is that a new thing for you guys? I mean, do you have to get like permits from the government? You have to get, certain things to be able to run that type of blockchain?
Well, actually, it's super simple. So Qi, our energy dollar, that is tokenized energy, literally, because what you're literally doing is taking energy and then you're getting a token proportional to that energy. Like it is tokenized energy. That's why it has that kind of stable value, because energy over time also has stable value. So yeah, Qi is tokenized energy. You don't need any kind of permit to do this. All you need to do is have a mechanism to measure that energy, right? And the mechanism to measure the energy is the hash. The hashes that are being done, because we know that you can only do so many hashes per unit energy. And because it's GPU only, you can't create an ASIC that can mine it any more efficiently. You'd only end up creating a more efficient GPU. So, we can measure the average energy input per unit hash and basically say, this is how much energy you've likely consumed to produce these hashes. And when we can do that, we can say we're going to give you tokens based on that energy. So yeah, Qi is tokenized energy.
Yeah, and we had a question from I'm trying to find it right now. There's a question from our community. It's from Buck.
I can pull it up.
Yeah, if you could pull it up for me, that'd be great. Where are you guys? Oh, here we go, right here. So you programmed a floor. What stops someone from changing that calculation to the miners determine in the future?
Yeah, so QUAI Network is a decentralized protocol. We don't actually own it. We just, I guess you could say, wrote the code for it, right? If we tried to change the code of the network, that would be a hard fork, and that would require miner participation. So, the miners would never participate or agree to update their code to something that doesn't benefit them. So, anytime we want to make changes to the protocol, we have to think about that. Like, would this benefit the miners as a whole? If it doesn't benefit the miners, then likely that change wouldn't happen. So that's why it doesn't, we wouldn't be able to make anything bad to the changes to the protocol, because it's decentralized and the miners wouldn't accept it.
Right. So, and then I had another question for you. It says, what role does QUAI see itself playing in the broader movement towards financial sovereignty and decentralization? Because I noticed you guys are not Bitcoin, but you guys were at the Bitcoin conference. So I'm thinking that there's a lot of things that you have in line with Bitcoin and the way people want to use it. So if you could just elaborate on that for us, that'd be great.
Yeah. So we were at the Bitcoin conference because we like Bitcoin, but also because we believe that Bitcoin created a good monetary asset, like a good store of value, right? And they did that with proof of work, not proof of stake. We don't believe that proof of stake can create a good monetary asset or a good monetary system. We think proof of work is actually the only way, which is mining, by the way. Proof of work or mining is the only way to create a blockchain that can function as a financial system. Proof of stake can't do it. There's various reasons why we can get into that, but that's why we were really at Bitcoin, because we wanted to meet Bitcoiners and we wanted to explain, what we've built to them, because I think they would understand it more, because people at the Ethereum conferences don't really understand why proof of stake isn't decentralized. They don't understand why decentralization is important. But people who are into Bitcoin understand that decentralization is important, because that's the only way you can make a store of value, and it's the only way you can make a monetary system. Now, Bitcoin has its own issues. There's issues with scalability. There's issues with what happens when there's not enough there's no more Bitcoin to be mined, and there's no security in the network and things like that. So we sought out to create a network that can function as a monetary system, but is also scalable. So it's decentralized and it's scalable. That means that we can support sub-penny fees, in perpetuity, like forever. We can support hundreds of thousands of transactions per second, which can allow people around the world to use it, just like they use Visa and MasterCard. Bitcoin is still a good store of value. We're not trying to replace Bitcoin in the store of value front. We can, exist in a world where people still hold money in Bitcoin. It's just that, as like a cash system or a peer-to-peer money system, like we believe that QUAI functions better than Bitcoin in that respect. But as a store of value, Bitcoin is still a good store of value, and we don't think that's going to change. So we see ourselves, rather than necessarily replacing Bitcoin entirely, offering a decentralized solution to the whole peer-to-peer cash, peer-to-peer payments, and also smart contract kind of DeFi industry.
So I saw that. Well, first of all, QUAI is mined through Kapow, the Kapow algorithm, and that algorithm shares is with Ravencoin. So basically, and it's a merge mine coin. So that means you're mining both Ravencoin and QUAI at the same time. But can you explain the security implementations of the hierarchical merge mining structure?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, we actually are not merge mined with Ravencoin. We have no relation to Ravencoin, and the GPU mining algorithm is slightly different than Kapow. So Kapow is a fork of ProgPow. ProgPow was originally designed for Ethereum as a GPU hard or a GPU only algorithm, kind of like how Monero has RandomX for CPUs. ProgPow is kind of like that for GPUs, where you can't actually mine it with an ASIC, at least not easily. If you designed an ASIC for ProgPow, it would look a lot like a more efficient GPU, which NVIDIA and AMD are already trying to do anyway, so you're competing with them. Now, when it comes to ProgPow, there's a lot of different implementations. So Kapow is like a fork of ProgPow, and our mining algorithm is also a fork of ProgPow. So we took the ProgPow code and we changed it just a little bit to kind of have it's just a different way of doing the DAG epochs. Like the GPU has to have a certain amount of RAM, but at QUAI, I think the RAM requirement is a little bit less than Kapow, so you don't need 16 or 8 gigs. I think you only need 4 gigs right now. But anyway, so that's the real difference, is the way that the ProgPow DAG size and the changes in the DAG size are. So it's a little more technical, but it's not merge mined with Ravencoin. So QUAI network is a hierarchy of chains. And so, previously I said that there's only one chain running in QUAI network. That's actually not entirely true. There's actually 3. There is Prime, which is a network that everybody in the world mines, if we're talking about a world with multiple chains in it. There's Prime at the top. And then there's Region, which is kind of like below Prime. It's like a subchain. And then there's Zone at the very bottom of the hierarchy. So it's 3 levels in the hierarchy. And so, it's like we did this to make bridging a lot easier to do. So if you want to send money from one zone to another zone, which are
it's EVM compatible.
That's right. Yeah, it's EVM compatible. But to be clear, so the Prime chain and the Region chain, which are merge mined together with the Zone chain, those chains don't have transactions. All they have are the bridging transactions. They only function as kind of bridges. So when you want to move funds from one zone to another zone chain where all of the activity occurs, the transaction actually goes up into the Region and up into Prime, depending on where it's routed to. So the hierarchy is entirely just like a routing mechanism, and it also organizes the chain so that you can mine. You basically mine Prime, Region, and Zone together, and in doing so, you can process those transactions that want to go to a different chain in the network. But because there's only one Zone chain where all of the transactions take place, there's no bridging transactions going on. But in the future, when there's multiple Zone chains and people want to do cross-chain transactions, those transactions would go through Region and Prime into the destination Zone chain that they're going to, and the node software kind of manages all of the routing for that. But you only have to mine one Zone chain, one Region chain, and one Prime, and the Prime chain. When you're mining, you only mine those 3. Even when we have 200 networks that are added, you actually only need to mine one Zone, one Region, and the Prime chain. That's it. You need to run those 3, which makes it a lot more scalable because you don't need to have a huge server that runs all 255 chains or all 255 shards to be a good validator in the network. All you need to do is run one Zone, one Region, and one Prime, and you can mine the network and participate in consensus. So it just makes it easier to participate in the network. And I hope I explained what the hierarchy is. It's really just a bridging mechanism for cross-chain transactions.
That's just stuff that nobody talks about.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody uses everybody in our community, they use blockchain, but they don't know how it actually works. And you're explaining things that people just don't hear on YouTube, and I think it's great, man. Yeah, you're a lot smarter than me. I had to get you on once I started talking to you about stuff. I was like, wow, he really knows his stuff. I got to get him on the show And maybe, some people can hear something different for a change instead of just price go up and when to buy and when to sell,
Yeah, I mean, designing these, high throughput, high frequency, whatever TPS networks, designing them in a very decentralized way is difficult to do. It is very technical. It is very complicated. It just necessarily must be that way. Unfortunately, we often think to ourselves that, the design that we've created is actually very simple and very intuitive, right? It makes sense. Like a hierarchy just makes sense to us. But to, people who don't, who like aren't in the industry or aren't like engineers, it's not super obvious that like, oh, this is the solution that allows you to scale chains in a decentralized way to like 200K TPS. So it's just kind of funny because like, in ourselves, in our own little engineering circles, like we are like, oh yeah, like this is intuitive, this makes sense. But, when I'm explaining it, I realize that, what the user really needs to know, they don't really need to know this stuff, right? The user just needs to know that they click send and the transaction confirms and their money can't be taken away from them, right? And their money is secure in their wallet and it can't be stolen and transactions can't be reverted. We there's no way to do a DAG or a hard fork and fork the chain. Like the Ethereum chain did like back in 2016, the DAO fork. Like these things are important to the user, but talking about how everything works behind the scenes is it's informational for sure and it's educational, but for the average user it's just like they're probably like, why do we care? Like if it works, it works, right?
Yeah, I've always been a proponent though of getting into these blockchains, running nodes, seeing how things work and learning about it. I've done it with a couple of different other chains. I'm actually still running a Grass node and I'm still running a Caspa node. So,
nice.
I believe in the technology. That's why I came. I believe in crypto. I think it's just a better money vehicle than fiat is, and it's a lot easier to transport than gold. So,
yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people haven't realized it yet, but we've actually replaced gold, and a lot of people don't like that. They don't want to believe it.
Wow, that's an interesting statement. We replaced gold.
I think it's
$10 trillion market cap.
It's not shiny. Bitcoin is not shiny. Crypto's not shiny. It sounds cool, but it's not shiny. And I still wear gold. I have gold. I have gold necklaces and stuff. But I don't think that gold is a good monetary system anymore because we live in a globally connected world. We live in a world where I want to pay somebody, across the world, and I want it to confirm in a minute or less. And I don't want, even wire transfers take days, and that's unacceptable. But can you imagine trying to send somebody a kilogram of gold around the world as a payment? It's unreasonable. If we existed in a time where there was no internet and, cross-country payments were not normal, then sure, gold can act as a good asset. The federal government took advantage of people's belief in gold and they started printing money that they promised was backed by gold. And then they promised they reneged on their promise and it's no longer backed by gold. And, we need to take money from the government. And I think gold is good because it prevents the government from having control of the money supply because you can make fake gold, but you can tell the gold is fake. But it's not good as a payments network because it's so cumbersome and heavy. So I think that with cryptocurrency, I think we can replace gold and I think we can replace all of, the traditional money system. Like it's just better,
Absolutely, Johnathan. Well, I just want to thank you for coming on today and giving us the rundown on QUAI Network. I've seen it's been gaining traction. And that's what kind of caught my eye. I'm not going to lie. The price caught my eye at first. We're about a 7x away from the all-time high. I believe this coin has a lot of potential, and I'm bringing it to you guys because I feel like I met the QUAI team at Bitcoin and I saw what they were working with, and I think they can solve some problems out there in the financial market. So that's why I had to get you on. But thank you so much for coming on, Johnathan. Do you guys have any questions for him? Billy, Jimmy, Dave Digital, Tex-Mex? I see you guys having a good time.
No, Johnathan, thanks. I've been having some connection issues myself. So, but Redman does our research on our team. And it's just sometimes, things happen for a reason. And he did some research, just weeks before the Bitcoin show. And then he ran into you guys at the Bitcoin show. And we thought, wow, okay, that's a sign. So we have to try to reach out and get you on. So we appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah. And I appreciate you guys having me on. It was great to chat with you guys. I hope you guys
Yeah,
learn
man.
a little bit more about QUAI. And you know, if you have any questions at all, feel free. You can message me. You can also join our own Discord. I actually am in your Discord, so you can just tag me if you want to chat. But you know, I'm always checking the QUAI Discord. If you ever have any questions about QUAI, you can always join, and we'll be happy to answer questions as well.
Yeah,
Sounds good, man. Well, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Thank you
I
guys.
think
Yeah,
I
and
met
everybody
you with Red at the conference, and it's good to have you here. And Red loved, he was really excited to see that you guys were there. We had to run over to your booth and take some photos because he had already done some research on it. And so thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it was great to be here. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. We'll see you, bro.
See you guys.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how things work out, man. It's just crazy sometimes how things work out. So we appreciate the connection, Red Man.
I just feel like there's going to be more avenues down the road. You know, there's going to be more directions. And so if it, the longer, if you get a hold of these things now and you know what's out there and you know what these things can do, I just think knowledge is power. And if you continue to research and you continue to find projects that are trying to solve problems, man, hats off to you, because you're doing more than just the regular old average investor out there.
Yeah, and I tell you, when he mentioned the part about cannabis not being able to use banks and things like that, that's a real problem for cannabis. Because I don't know if all of you guys know, but in 2009, I started one of the first dispensaries in Colorado, and we ended up, going back and forth with the IRS for a long time because we couldn't use traditional banking, and it was just very hard for us to do things the right way, even though we set the business up the right way. The laws were supporting us locally. It's just that the federal laws didn't allow you to bank like a normal person. And that really screwed things up with our, with many things along the way. We battled the IRS for a decade after we shut down. So, that's huge. And that's just one, like Red was saying, when you start to research the QUAI network, you can research for a long time and find out something new the whole time. So just that little piece is going to be huge for those guys, I think, because that's a real need, and nobody solved it yet. Now, obviously it could be solved with the swipe of the pen on the federal level, but until then, those guys definitely need solutions.
Yep. No doubt about it. Well, listen, man, this show's running quickly, just flying by. So we want to bring our next guest up. We have Cassius in the studio. What's going on, brother? How are you, man?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. I just got off my own show. Come up with Cassius Cuvee, which I do every Sunday. Can you guys hear me all right?
We got an echo. We got a little bit of an echo.
Slight echo.
Not sure why we have an echo. I hear the echo too.
What did you have to do to get rid of that echo, Tony?
It's gone.
Test. Oh,
Okay.
echo's gone now.
There we go. We got it now.
We're in this thing, bro. All right. Man, you guys are all supporting me, man. I appreciate you guys. I just had my Sunday show. It's noon Pacific time every Sunday called To Come Up with Cassius Cuvee. And the whole crew was in the house, man. In the chat, you guys was lit, man. I had to put a screenshot of the chat on Twitter because we were so lit today. So, man, I'm still on the high right now. You know what it is, man. We're dropping Bitcoin Bestie tomorrow with Randi Hipper. We excited. We lit. Every week I do a daily recap wrap. And at the end of this time's wrap, I say, by now it's the final warning. Watch Randi Hipper live show tomorrow morning. So you know what I'm saying? That's what we're doing right now, man. Is it Bitcoin Bestie, man? Anybody in the crowd here a fan of Bitcoin? You guys like Bitcoin and you guys?
Yeah, I think we all like Bitcoin, brother. I think we all like Bitcoin.
It was great to see you guys at the Bitcoin conference, by the way, in person. We hung out and did it big. And Uncle Jimmy pulled out the Lambo for the music video. So you guys got to stay, man. You got to don't hold your breath till tomorrow morning, but we're going to do it big. I'm going to be at Randy's show and we're going to debut the music video at that time.
Yeah.
Dude,
You heard
that's
it here
awesome.
first. Yeah. Looking forward to that.
Well, we did pop over to your show, and we got let's talk a little bit about the kind of behind the scenes. I know you went over it on your show a little bit, but for our audience,
Sure.
kind of like how did that all develop? How did you decide? Because I know all these creators are always asking, Hey, Cassius, can you do a little intro song for me? But your time is, like if you did that all day, you wouldn't make any money, right? So how did it all come about? Because it seemed a little bit magical to me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, this is, this is my business too. I make music videos and music and content for brands. Sometimes, you're only usually brands I believe in, you know what I mean? First I was kind of just, when I first got into Web3, I was just excited about everything. I had my show Poppin' Crypto, and I had just any Web3 project that I liked just come on. I'd make a custom rap song about it. I had a DJ who'd be behind me in the studio rapping, and then I'd do the interview with the founder of the CEO. And then that kind of evolved. And that was 2022 and 2023. Poppin' Crypto turned into where I would go to live events like we did at, Bitcoin conference, and I'd film a music video at their booth or whatever, right? So then, these would start becoming like paid gigs, if you will, where I would do like, because, it's like you get a theme song and everything, plus you get a music video. So I started stepping my game up. And then, I made some intro songs for some other YouTube channels and things like that. And, Randy asked me how much I charge. This was a while back. And I told her, I said, okay, she said, well, we'll think about it maybe later or something, right? She couldn't do it right now. Okay, that's fine. I was getting into kind of driving home my technical analysis business at that time, right? I was really getting started on that. I just made the market site for music video with Crypto Face. And that's like an AI video. Crypto Face, he doesn't show his face in real life. So that one I had to do the AI video stuff for him, right? And then, I've been going hard on the technical analysis and stuff, and been teaching it. And I started live streaming this year. This year. And basically, I just started, like, I was doing every day at first. I was like, I want to have a good Sunday show where I do a weekly recap rap. And then every week I do the recap rap, but I'm also teaching technical analysis, right? That's really what I'm doing, which is, for those who don't know, that's like the charts, and it's like, more than support and resistance, but we draw those things in the charts, indicators, when to enter and exit trade, like specifically looking at the candles at different time frames. But I'm an artist, man. You know what I mean? I'm always going to be an artist. I'm always going to make music. And so, one morning, I don't know what the hell, it was one of the mornings I stayed up all night or something. And, Randy's up at like 2 a.m. and she's tweeting out, "Good morning." And I'm like, I'm not even asleep yet. What is going on? So she was like, join the Daily Zest, tap into the Daily Zest today. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it today. I'm on, my sleep was always messed up, so I miss it. So I tapped into it right then, or whatever it was. It was like 4 or 5 in the morning when she first has. I'm put in the chat, and then it comes on at 7:30, whatever. And so then she says, when the show started, and I said something, "Hey, what's up?" And she just like, "Man, Cash, you guys got to follow Cassius Cuvee. He's like, he's a good guy. I really think he's a good person, but he also makes these great crypto rap songs and music videos and stuff like that." She's like, "Man, it would be dope if I could have a Cassius Cuvee music video." I'm paraphrasing. And I was like, "Oh, that's it. We got to do it. We got to do it." You know what I mean? Like, we talked about this a while ago. I was like, "All right, we're doing it. And she was just like, "Oh, I can't, do it right now." I said, "Look, don't worry, Randy. Look, we're going to work something out. Just jump on a Zoom with me. We'll figure it out. We're going to do a collab." And I told her, I said, "Look, if I'm going to do this for Randi Hipper," obviously I'm a big fan of Miss Teen Crypto is now 22, Randi Hipper. And I said, "Look, if I'm going to do it, we got to do something epic. All right. Especially if it's like from the heart. Like, this ain't a paid gig, this ain't just shilling some Web3 project or something. You know what I mean? Like, we got to do it from the heart. We obviously believe in Bitcoin. We wear it around our necks. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, this is what we got to do. I said, I don't have a beat yet. I don't have a concept for a song yet, but you're talking to your boy Cassius Cuvee. And when I tell you I'm going to do it right, I said, we're not going to rush. We're going to let it marinate. I know you. That's the other thing too. I know her, right? Like, I know her aura. I know her. I'm not, we're not best friends in real life type of situation, but like, I know her show. I've obviously hung out with her a couple times in person. And so like, I know what she represents, right? What her values are. So it was like, it's easy for me to do a song like that. Because first of all, our values like align, right? Always promoting positivity. Twitter can be somewhat of a cesspool at times. You guys are always promoting positivity as well. You know what I mean? That's why we all kind of click,
Yep.
And so, we don't do the trolling and all that other stuff, And right. So like, that's the kind of people I want, like that same audience. Maybe a little bit, you got a little bit, but you know what I mean. The real mean stuff. You know what I mean? That's not really we're not to light ourselves on fire to get attention types, right? We'd like to educate and have some fun while doing it, right? And so, we all kind of align with that. I'm a rapper, obviously, a little bit different, but like, that's my, I got the shiny shoot off of that, but like, I'm not, out there. I don't really need to troll people. I'm gonna state my stuff. And Randy's always positive like that too. And pro Bitcoin and education. And so, it was easy for me I won't say it was easy to write the song because it's a very, very wordy song. If you guys have not heard Bitcoin Bestie, you can stream it right now on all the streaming platforms. It's called Bitcoin Bestie by Cassius Cuvee and Randi Hipper. And I wrote all the words so that they were like educational and fun, and they got a good bounce. Well, but I didn't have any beats at first.
Tony, do we have a sample? Can we
Well, I can pull it. I can pull it up on the YouTube channel. But we did post, like, we were listening to you guys. We were watching you and Randy going back and forth, and listening to you do your charts a little bit beforehand, because we have a meeting a couple hours before we do our show, and we were listening in. And so right when you said, "Hey, yeah, it's already out. It's on Spotify. It's on all the different things." So we already put out a post on Instagram, put that on our story.
Supporting,
so people
baby.
Go mute the reel and share it out. So yeah, let me just give me a second, and I'll pull it up. Here,
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt, Cassius, but when you
No,
said
by all-
that, I'm like, I think we might be able to actually get a little sample of
for
it.
sure. I definitely want you to play the song.
Yeah,
Music
man,
video
it is-
drops tomorrow.
it
So
is
right now
in-
it's got the audio. People can add it to their playlist. It's called Bitcoin Bestie. You know, if you like Bitcoin, you should like the song. But even if you don't like Bitcoin, I hope you like the song. You feel me?
Yeah, man.
Because we really want to have fun no matter what it is. You know what I mean? On a red day or a green day, whatever day, we're still Bitcoin besties. You feel me? Because
Well,
this cycle is definitely Bitcoin cycle. Let me tell you.
Yeah. So Billy Goat Tales here at Givers Gang, we are really close with Miss Teen Crypto. She reads every year, every Christmas Eve, she reads one of our children's books. It started last year. She's going to do it this year. We love her. And just like you're saying, there's just an aura and we feel it. And she's part of our fam, man. So like the way this all worked out for us to all be there, Jimmy decides to get the Lambo this year. You guys are already hooking up with the music video and just the way it all kind of is just naturally, organically unwound, man. It was magic. It was absolute magic, dude.
Yeah, the look
it
on
was, man.
Cassius's face when I was like, "Well, you got enough footage?" He's like, "Man, I don't know if we got enough footage." I was like, "Well, I mean, I got a Lambo downstairs." He's like, "Here?" I was like, "Yeah, what's wrong, dude?"
That's what you mean. Downstairs, like downstairs from here.
Music video.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to get to that too, because so we made the song, right? We made the song. Fast forward, we made the song, right? And she loved it. We loved it. And I was like, because I had to rush. I didn't get any beats at first, so I ended up making that beat. And then I was like, okay. And I had a few beats I was going through, and I was like, this one, I just kept coming back to it. And I was like, this one sounds right for it, because the original thing too was to do it's going to be like an intro to her show for the Daily Zest, right? So it's like an intro to her show. So it got to have a right feel to it. Didn't want something too hard or whatever, but we weren't going to go completely bubblegum on him. You know what I'm saying? We got to have some bounce to it. And this beat just kept calling me, and I was like, okay, this is going to be the one. So then I was just freestyling in the car, and I was just driving, and it just came. I'm a Bitcoin bestie. You gotta love it. And I was like, it was right when I was pulling up to my stop. I was like, okay, we got to do this. I'm recording my phone. So then I was like, okay, now I got to write the rap. And then I was like, we got to shoot the video. This is like a week before the Bitcoin conference, right? There's not much time left. And I was like, I got to get this done, and I got to get it done right so we can film it, because I'll be with her at the Bitcoin conference, right? She's in the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. We can't like just go film a video anytime we want. So, this is right at the perfect time. And you guys, if you've seen any of my old content, maybe folks out there don't know, I've been making music videos about crypto and rap songs about crypto for a long time. But my first I had my show Poppin' Crypto actually first. So I was doing rap songs about the projects, different Web3 projects. But I never made like a crypto music video until I made those songs in real life, this is in 2022. This is at NFTLA and the Bitcoin conference. So I've done this before, where you go to the conferences and you film and make a music video, and everything in that song in real life is talking about like everything I say in the song, you see it in the video in real life. Like it's literally the lyrics match the visuals. So who I met, when I met him, Altcoin Daily, everybody. Wendy, Miss Teen Crypto is in the song. The moment I met her for the first time in my life, it's in that music video in real life. It's actually on the home screen of my YouTube channel. If anybody goes there, it's just my name, Cassius Cuvee. And so that was when I first met her, right? I guess she was still a teen back then. And I seen her in Stash, and I was like, why do I recognize it? I was like, oh, that's Miss Teen Crypto. So she's in the music video. Ever since then, you know what I mean? She was like, man, I want to do a song with Cassius. So comes full circle. We're back again at the Bitcoin conference. And I'm like, we got to film the music video, but now I'm more experienced. You know what I mean? Now I'm going to do it. I brought Jade, my friend Jade. She was amazing. She's in the video, but she also filmed us. So shout out to Jade, Miss New Jersey. She did the whole thing in stilettos. Okay. She's amazing. And so, but we filmed that first day. Little Bubble was there. So shout out Little Bubble. He's in the video. He's DJing behind us. But we didn't see you guys the first day. And it was the third day when we came back in. Thankfully, there was a lot of people there this time, right? Sometimes, how a conference is the third day. It's not as many people. We were at Sin City Crypto first, and then we went down there in the afternoon thinking like, I hope there's more people there, because I wanted to get like shots of other folks and more B-roll. And everybody was there. So we just pull out the speaker right there. And then you guys see me just sitting right there in the middle, like, oh, and then everybody started coming up, and your son and Taco and everybody, we're filming everybody saying Bitcoin bestie. And man, we were lit right in dead center of the whole conference. But Randy wasn't there because she was off doing her other obligations or whatever, interviews and stuff. And so then I was like, when you mentioned the Lambo to me, Jimmy, I said, well, I know where Randy's going to be at 2:00 because she got to be at this booth from 1 to 2:00. Okay. So I will go and ambush her and grab her and say, Randy, we got one more setup to do. We're doing the Lambo. I was like, heck yeah. And that worked out great. And everybody was there. Appreciate you guys, Dave, and everybody was there too to help us out. Redman saw me first, I think. He came up to me. He's like, I said, how you going? He said, I'm ready.
Hey,
I was like, oh,
I spotted you out, brother. I spotted you out because you got that energy, man. You bring the. I thought I get hyped about crypto. Cassius Cuvee gets hyped about crypto. That's what I'm talking about.
Especially when I walked in the Bitcoin conference, I just seen everybody. Someone was taking a picture from the sign, like they were done. We taking this over now. We pulled out the speaker. Jade is filming me, and then it was someone else like, "Oh, we got to interview him." And then everybody. Then I started seeing people I know. They're like, "Hey, Cassius, hey!" And I was like, "You guys want to be in the video?" So man, it just was like it was just popping right there, man.
Yeah, we brought Lifer on over. Yeah, he was hanging out with us, and we brought him on over, and it was magical. I'm telling you, that day was magical, man. It was just feeling like this is something big's happening here, man. It's fun, it's exciting. Tony, do we have a little bit of that? And by the way, we have 642 people watching right now, so we're killing it right now. So, what do you got a little sample?
Well, actually, not the video. I've got the
the audio,
the soundtrack queued up, but we've got a lot of people that have been asking us to open the club.
We'll do that after. We'll do that after to celebrate.
Before that, I just want to tell you, I saw you and Life are going back and forth, and I think you're filming. So I got 3 to 2 odds that part of that is in the video, at least a little bit of it. We got to put some bets on it in Vegas. But
Poly market.
If someone wants to cue the club music, and then I'll jump just to cue the short one, and then I'll cue right into the music.
Whatever, I'm down. Whenever you want to play it, just start it from the top. You know what I mean? Play the song.
Let's do it from the top, Dave. I just go ahead and start it. We'll do the club. We'll open a club later.
Okay. All right. We'll open the club later. Here we go.
Can you hear it? Yep, we got it.
You gotta love it. Hey, You gotta love it. Hey,
Bone. Bad TV bone.
Let's
Love that,
go.
man.
Good
right,
stuff.
her first song ever, y'all. Her first song ever. She killed it. Wait till you see the music video. Oh my goodness.
I played it Friday, leaving work. I had the windows rolled down and everything. Wheels screeching out of the parking lot.
Man, when the big speakers, the way I did the beat is it builds up and the bass starts kicking in about halfway through.
Yeah.
Love the bass.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know I play a little bass guitar, Cassius. So
Oh, okay.
I got
All
a little
right.
studio myself, but when I heard that beat, I'm like, dude, that thing is fire.
You got to hit the bass like doom, 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 doom. You got to hit the bass on that one.
Oh, that's a great bass line, man. So yeah. Awesome.
Sure. I'm glad you guys like it, man. You know what I mean? I put a lot of work into it. I honestly put hundreds of man hours into everything with this, right? Whether it be the beat, the song, mixing it, having to, I got Kayla Love to sing on the hook, you know what I mean? And then I had to do the music video. Like I literally put in a lot of time. I'm like, I got to set up like a Bitcoin wallet for donations or some of this. I don't know, man, because I put a lot of work into this bad boy.
Let me ask, where did she record her side of that at?
Her side. On her side, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, her side. I know how to mix it. I know how to do all of that stuff. I take care of the engineering.
That's amazing, man. It sounds like she's right in a recording studio, man.
Hey, Billy, we have a special message. Do you want me to play it?
Is it legal?
Yeah. I mean, it's actually presidential.
Is it Billy
It's not
approved?
going to get us kicked off of YouTube.
Okay, yeah, you can show Cassius that, yeah.
Folks, let me tell you about Bitcoin Bestie. It's an incredible single, absolutely tremendous. I am a Bitcoin Bestie. You're a Bitcoin Bestie. We are all Bitcoin Besties. Shout out to Cassius and Randi for making this happen. Together, we're winning just like never before. Everyone should check it out on all platforms. Believe me, you won't want to miss it. Keep making those great connections.
See, Cassius, we're plugged in, Cassius. We're plugged in over here, Billy.
You guys got the connections all the way to the top, huh?
Cassius,
All the way
you're
up,
presidential
baby.
now.
Hey, right on.
You have to send that to him, Dave. You have to send that to Cassius.
Go ahead, just post it. I'll repost it.
Okay, yeah.
Oh man, yeah, man. No, this has been fun though, man. I appreciate you guys, everything you do, and the uncles of Randi and everything like that. You know what I mean? You guys looking out for. I'm one of the things that I don't even get to say this enough. Just in general, what I love about the crypto community is the camaraderie, and that's what I love. When you see brothers like Altcoin Daily or husband and wife, whether it be Megan and her husband or whomever, you know what I mean? And the camaraderie, you guys got 5 guys in this show. You know what I mean? I love that. You know what I'm saying? I love that. And everybody supporting each other, whether it be the extended family, extended crew. Every time I show up to an event, it's always love, And I always tell people, like, when I go to these events, I don't just have a good time. I thrive. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all thrive and feed off each other's energy. So I just love the camaraderie. So I appreciate what you guys are doing here on, on your show and always trying to include other folks and new people. Anyways, it's always good energy.
Yeah, man, that's what it's all about. Givers gain. That's what we stand for, and just helping those working hard to help themselves. That's what we say all the time, So you're one of those guys, man. You've been one of those guys. So ever since I ate some barbecue chicken pizza with you that day, man, I said, I like this guy. This guy's a real deal, man.
That's right. That was at the Bitcoin conference in Miami.
That was Miami. Yeah, that was great. That was a great time.
Barbecue chicken pizza.
Let's go around the horn, see if anybody's got questions.
We got the chat. Let's see what the chat's talking about for sure.
Chat is, let's see. You got anything, Tony? Anything pop up? There's Rocco. Good to see you, Rocco.
We used to be able to have the presidential's bestie, but now they're having a little falling out. So it's like it's mom and dad that are different households, but maybe they'll come back together. So maybe we'll have one of the other besties.
I mentioned that in today's weekly recap wrap, actually. On my show, the weekly recap wrap has a little blurb about that. It made the markets dump.
What's your
good too. I saw that
on the Elon Trump saga, Kesha?
I don't know. I knew it was inevitable, man. Those are two big personalities. They're going to clash at one point in time. But I don't know. We'll see how this all plays out. You never know, man. My whole thing is always I'm looking at the markets, man. So I'm like, I had my shorts ready. To be honest with you, I hit some good shorts. Again, I explained that in my wrap because I was like, I'm looking at the technicals, and I wrote in the Discord. For those who don't know, I have a private Discord group where I teach people trading, and we have a group in there, community of traders in there. And so I said, look, the charts are telling me that like something wants to give. One bad news break, I don't know what it's going to be, and we're going to have a dip. And that was sure enough what happened, you know. So, you know, trading it's a weird thing, qualitative versus quantitative, you know what I mean? But sometimes the charts are showing you like things are ripe for a pullback, and then, you know, whatever is the news of that day will make it hit. And that's, you know, that's my take on almost everything that people are always talking about is how does this affect the markets, to be honest
I
with you.
learned something new about your Discord today. So you have a premium Discord that's free for the first year. Is that right?
Right. So the first 50 people who join my Discord, the way I'm doing it, yeah, it's $99 a month, but I want everybody to have access. It's not so much about me trying to get money from you. What I have it set up so that if you join Fimex, which is a leverage trading platform, using my invite code, sure, you get special bonuses because I'm an affiliate partner with them. I'm like an official partner with them. I have a contract with them. But I'm giving you free access to the Discord for 1 full year for the first 50 people. After that, I'm going to do it 1 full month for everyone else after that. But like the first ones are going to be like my day ones, you know what I mean? And then you just got to click. You still have to click the thing to fill out the WAP information, but it clearly says free for 1 year. And then once you're in the family and the community, you know what I mean? And it's not just me in there. There's other like very experienced traders in there also. So if you're new, you have questions. There's people doing setups. I mean, we trade every day, like 7 days. You know, we're in there every day. So like anybody who's new, you can get in there for free. For 1 full year right now, all you got to do is to create an account on Fimex is free also, right? So you just create it. I say save your money, deposit it into Fimex, so now you have some money to trade with. Don't give it to me, give it to the exchange. And then I'm also going to be doing more stuff on Fimex. People have copy trading on there. There's like these different bots and grid stuff. So I'm a content creator. I've been working on this video for the past 3 weeks, but now I'm going to start making some more content on like how to take advantage of some of these key features on the trading platform itself.
Did you say you have Blueberry in your Discord?
Blueberry's in there. Yeah, he's a baller, man. That guy's doing big things. I like him.
Yeah, man. Good job on that one. And speaking of content, you're one of the first content creators to create content for Breakout Prop too. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So Breakout Prop is a prop firm. So you have a leverage trading platform like Fimex. I really only partner with right now just 2 platforms, right? Prop firm is not a direct competitor of a leverage trading platform. That's why I'm doing that. I don't have like 5 leverage trading platforms. Just have Fimex. But then Breakout Prop, where basically for $800 you can get fronted $100,000 account in order to trade with. So for people who don't have excessive amount of money, the way prop trading works is that how it works is you purchase the evaluation. You have to pass the evaluation, and then if you pass it, which means you gain 10% before you lose 6% on that account, and then they give you a real account of $100,000 to trade with, and you can withdraw your money every day. So, you know, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a greatly different strategy for trading on there, but you definitely want to trade with the trend, and I have strategies for that on my YouTube channel. I teach people how to do it because that's why I like scalping, short-term trading. You know, you can just bet singles with that big $100 bankroll, and then you can bet singles a little bit each day. I don't like to talk about how much money you can make, but you can make a lot of money every day if you wanted to, you know, because 1% of 100,000 is $1,000. So for some people that can add up over time, right? If you got a system, and I'm largely trying to teach folks to have a system so that they don't get breached. And it sucks if you get breached, meaning you go below that $6,000. But the thing about it is, if that was your real money, you would have lost $6,000. But if it's the evaluation, you only lost $800, right? So that's why I'm like, lesson learned, and you can come back and just buy another valuation and start over again if you want to. But I do have some videos on my channel that kind of help you. It teaches you risk management more so than like a trading strategy. It's more like a risk management, bankroll management strategy. That's the type of stuff that is applicable to any trading strategy. You got to have good bankroll management. And so Breakout Prop is a great opportunity for folks who want to have like $100,000 to trade with, and they only have $800. You can do smaller amounts as well. I just always suggest doing the bigger one, because then you only got to trade with a little bit amount of money, right? You can just trade with $100 of the 100,000. You don't have to use $50,000 or whatever. But when people get the small account, then they end up using the whole bag, and then like one false move and you get breached. So I'm like, get the big one and then just take your time and do smaller, and then you work up. Before you know it, you pass the $10,000 evaluation. Boom! Now you got a $100,000 account. You can withdraw money every day. So that's why I like Breakout Prop. It's a different opportunity. You get as much time as you want. Not all prop firms are the same, by the way. This one, you get as much time as you want. They're not forcing you to trade. Some like you got to trade every 5 days and weird stuff like that. This is not like that. So you get to take your time. You can get started, get up a little bit, whatever, relax, go on vacation, whatever, come back. So that's Breakout Prop. I think it's pretty cool. And, and I have a discount code for it too. So for the evaluation, it's $800. If you use my discount code, then you get to save some money. You can use as many times as you want.
So I don't know if you know this, Cassius, but like Billy Goat Tales was born out of Frankie Candle's server, right? So we are really tied in with all the traders, right? So Lifer, Tom, of course, Tom Crown, Dave wrote articles and stuff for Tom Crown back in the day. Of course, Jason, Alex O Crypto, Army Piper, they're all fam, man. They're all fam. Now we got you in the you've always been fam, but like officially you're in fam here. So our audience are the people, our members, they are traders, man. Most of them are traders. So you're speaking their language, man. You're speaking their language. So we appreciate that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's awesome. Yeah. So I got to make some more videos, but like I have a killer scalping strategy that I use with the momentum waves. I like scalping everyone has a different trading strategy based on their life, right? Like some people can't do it every day, whatever. But scalping sometimes is cool for people who like, look, I can sit down this weekend, carve out 3 or 4 hours, and I'm just going to focus on scalping for 3 hours. And you can get a lot of reps in and making stacks of money. And then when you're done, you're just done. You don't have open positions. That's kind of nice, right? For folks who don't want to be checking their phone all the time or going to sleep with a trade open, So I'm kind of big on the scalping strategies, to be honest with you. On my show, I did a lot of, I'm doing swing trading and stuff like that. But my scalping strategy is like, it's very rigid and it doesn't require a lot of indicators. That's what I like about it. It's very simple. It involves the 1 hour time frame and the 10-minute time frame on the momentum waves. I need to make a more specific video on how I go about that, but I talk about it a lot on my show. I didn't today because we were doing a lot of stuff. But basically, it teaches you to trade with the trend, and then you're almost like buying the dip on the 10-minute waves. But I'll go into more detail in another video I've got to make.
Yeah, sure,
a lot of our audience too is members of the Alex O Crypto, the Otter Gang, and every morning we watch him, but an hour before open until an hour after open, or something like that, 30 minutes after open, and he's scalping. That guy, he's taken several trades in that time, and several times you see him in 30 seconds make $1,500, just boom. And
Alex, don't you? You know him, don't you, Cassius? Alex O.
Oh yeah. I don't want to give away too much, but some of the people you guys already named are in the music video. So yeah, man. I definitely saw. I saw Alex down there. I saw, I seen everybody down there. Tom, I went to dinner with Tom. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and I shout out Frankie Candle, I like him too. I didn't see him on this trip. I don't know if he was in Vegas, but I definitely rock with.
I didn't see him either.
Candles didn't make it. Yeah, Candles didn't make it.
Oh, okay. He didn't make it. Yeah, but yeah, definitely all the guys you named. I know most of those guys too. So it's all good.
It's like you're saying, it's a family, man, and we're all in it together. And that's the message we're always trying to put out. Like, we're in this network together. We got to support each other. We got to help each other. And that's why I say that's so magical the way this whole video came through, because it was on your and Randy's agenda, but just the amount of people that got involved on the fly, man. There's some magic in the air that day. I'm telling you, man.
It was, man. When Jimmy, man, I'll never forget. Got a Lambo downstairs. What? We didn't have much time with it, 15, 20 minutes, but we made the most of our time, man. That shit worked. And you did a great job. Jimmy, you said you filmed videos somewhat, or some experience with that?
Yeah, a little bit. That's one of my dirty little secrets. I like to do a little cinematography.
Well, we made it work, man. When you see the music video, you're gonna be like patting yourself on the back. You're like, my shots worked.
Hopefully, some of that creative ideas came through in the video. We had
got
a lot of fun
man.
with that. Like Billy saying, the way that whole situation came about, and heard an opportunity, you needed more footage, and like, what would be better than going and paying off the valet one more time to pull it up, because we had to do it 2 days ahead of before that to do our photo shoot with the photographer, and he had lights and stuff, so I had to pat a few palms to make it happen. But man, it was fun. I can't wait to see what the final product looks like. I know it's going to be awesome.
It's fun, man. I gotta say, I like it. This is my favorite. I've done a lot of crypto songs. This has got to be my favorite crypto music video I've done so far, you guys. Like, it's got probably the catchiest hook I ever made. It's certainly the catchiest crypto hook I ever made. I've done music and stuff for a long time, but this is the funnest song, and I'm like, couldn't be with a better person than Randy. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And what's wild is
the beat is awesome.
Yeah,
the beat is awesome.
Man. And another thing that's wild is you shot that video, and you edited the video, and you're about to post the video in less than like 14 days.
Oh
Shout
yeah,
out to
yeah.
you,
That was
bro.
that's definitely less than 14. Yeah, for sure. I work fast, man. We gotta go. Yeah, the markets move fast, man. They're not gonna wait on us. Okay,
That's right.
so this is what I said on my show today, right? I have a 10 shorts open right now, right? But I just for the record, also this is very important philosophy. I always preach it. I go long strength and I short weakness, right? So I call myself like the shitcoin king, right? Because I'm always shorting the altcoins that are like bad ones, right? But the strong ones, basically Bitcoin is the strongest coin, right? You know, it's the only one that came back and hit all-time highs since this last pump here. But like, I don't care if all my shorts get liquidated right now. I want Bitcoin to pump hard tomorrow when we drop this music video, and all week, all summer, you can stop me out. I don't care about all 10 of my damn altcoin shirts. Stop them. I want Bitcoin to go to the moon because of this song. So it's almost like a jinx or like my hedge against the song. If Bitcoin wants to tank on us when the week we release the music video, I need to get paid by my altcoin shorts. All right.
Well, Jimmy, you're going to have to represent the uncles because I have a scheduled fiat meeting tomorrow and at that time. So, man, you got to do the rep.
I'll definitely try to be in there early.
And
right on.
Billy's filled.
What time does Miss Teen Crypto's show usually start? What time does Randy's show start? At 7? Well, what time for you guys?
Well,
Where
for
are you
us,
guys?
it's like 10 o'clock, 9:45, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, something like
Eastern.
that.
Wait, oh, you're 2 hours from me. Yeah. You're 2 hours from me, right? You're not Eastern time. You're
Well, she
Billy's
starts, I think, officially at like 9:45 now, right? So I'm East Coast, you're West Coast, right? So
okay. So,
So
6:45.
3 hours.
It is 45. I
Yeah.
didn't know if that. I was like, does she always start at 45 hour or okay? So 45. All right. So yeah, that's 6:45 for me. All right, for sure. She's gonna bring me on a little later, not at the beginning, but yeah, okay, for sure. Right on.
yeah. So
Everyone can tune in tomorrow at that time.
tune in
9:45
tomorrow.
Eastern.
And Cassius, what is your like for our community here? Make sure we put out your YouTube channel. I'll type it in
It's
here
my
right
name.
now.
So yeah, I made everything easy. My name is just so Cassius is Cassius. Cuvee is Cuvee. So for YouTube, it's 2 words for YouTube, but for every other social media handle, it's just 1 word, Cassius Cuvee, at Cassius Cuvee on everything. So yeah, YouTube is Cassius space Cuvee, like a space, obviously. But that makes it easy to find, really easy to find. And my live show is called The Come Up with Cassius Cuvee. And you'll see on my channel, you will see kind of a mix of music videos and stuff, but there's going to be a lot of TA, a lot of just kind of crypto education. Sometimes I interview different founders and CEOs and stuff like that. Thanks for putting it on the screen there. The mods, you got to love the mods. You guys got great mods. Alexandra G, great mod right there. Put the information on there. Appreciate you, Alexandra. And everybody else in the chat, by the way. I didn't see all the chats, but I saw some folks out there. So shout out to everybody who's supporting you, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Alexandra G is the best mod of mods. She's everywhere. She mods for a lot of communities, and she does a great job for us. So thank you, Alexandra. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, brother. Well, listen, man, we appreciate you coming in and spending some time with Billy Goat Tales, man. It's always cool. It's always cool. We need to bring you back on sometime, man. Talk a little charts. We do. Actually, DDT down here, he's Darren does things. We're getting ready to go over a little charts right now with Darren. So come back, hang out with us anytime, man. You're always welcome here.
I appreciate you guys, man. Yeah, we'll definitely go over some charts, especially if you want to talk about altcoins ever. Usually I'm shorting those, but we're long in a lot of Bitcoin and long in the real projects. But anyways, yeah, Bitcoin Bestie is streaming everywhere now. Bitcoin Bestie, just like it sounds, that's how it's spelled. It's on, the Cassius Cuvee music channel. I have a lot of songs out, you know what I mean? So you're going to find those as well. But yeah, Bitcoin Bestie is the only one that has Randi Hipper. Okay, so it'll be easy to find right there. You feel me? So yeah, and then the music video will be premiering on Randi's channel, just to make that clear. Not my channel. It'll be on her channel. And we're going to drive all the traffic to one place. Obviously, she's got a bigger audience than I have. So we're gonna push it there first, and then we're going to expand from there after that.
Dude, that's awesome. That is so awesome. Anybody else got anything for Cassius?
I think
No, I mean, our audience loved hearing the song here with us today. And then obviously we put the links out there. It's actually pinned at the top of the chat. People can go click right on that video and listen to the music. The video's not out yet, but then obviously that's on your channel, and then they can subscribe and like and check out your other content. And I'm excited to check out your prop advice content, like the stuff you talked about with trading, because
Breakout prop, yeah. But if you guys haven't tried prop trading, it's cool. Yep.
Because I'm testing out on a prop account, and so I'm going to check out some of those videos to give me a little bit more help. So thank you.
Yeah, and I got a discount code, so you might as well use it. They don't really do a lot of they don't do promotions and stuff on Breakout Prop. So just like the affiliates have a discount code, that's kind of the only way you can save a little money on there. So yeah, if you appreciate GGRF7W is my discount code for Breakout Prop. It's just breakoutprop.com. So anyways, appreciate you guys having me on. You guys are the best. In real life, you're dope, just as dope as on here. So anybody hasn't met you in real life, they should come to the next conference and hang out with you guys, man. It's been real.
You too, brother. You too. We appreciate
Thanks,
you, man.
Thank you guys.
All right,
I'm
guys.
a
you, brother.
Bitcoin bestie.
I'm
Gotta
a
love it. Hey,
Bestie.
You gotta love it.
I'm a Bitcoin.
wait till you see the video, Dave.
I can't wait, bro. I'm excited.
All right, Joe.
We'll see you, man.
Later.
That's awesome. Love Cassius, man. I knew the moment I met him a couple years ago, it was like, this dude's a real deal, man. Just good people. He's always having fun, always knows how to party, but not go over the top. Good morals, good values, fits big.
Uh-oh.
Nope. Did we lose Billy?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, let's break up some DDT. But yeah, I got connection issues today, guys. Sorry about that.
Evening. How's the volume? I'm using the headset because my USB mic is a bit fried, I think. Need to buy another one.
Sounds a
That
lot
sounds
better
good.
than that
Lot better.
other one, man. Sounds
Yeah, I
good.
think it's got something to do with the background noise. I need to actually install something kind of in the background just to make sure that it doesn't play up. But yeah, how's everyone? Hope everyone's had a good weekend.
So far, so good.
Good to see
So
you.
far, so
DT.
good.
So are we going to 109, Darren, or what?
I think we're going to reject. I hate to break it to you, but I'm leaning
here.
leaning slightly bearish just for the next few hours. Share my chart.
So where are we going to reject? Like
We've just
fair.
rejected a local value area. So at this
Tony
point,
wants specifics.
so
I want the,
Where?
I want the specifics.
if we're looking at this range here, that range from November, we've now rejected its value area high at 106,400. Currently, kind of weekend price, not weekend price action. So Thursday dump, obviously with all the debacle that was going on. We were looking to take out all this liquidity. Sorry, I didn't have the SFP there, but I'll just draw it there anyway. So we had the SFP here. Obviously, everyone was looking for 100K. We front ran, which is quite bullish. So for the most part, obviously, I think everyone was waiting for 100K or lower, kind of slightly lower 98, wherever they're done there, 99, 98K. But yeah, we front ran. We had, I'll quickly go back to the higher time frames in a bit, but we did have 8-hour bullish divergences. So down, up, and then obviously money flow turned up as well on the 8-hour. So yeah, it was the SFP front run. It can be expected in a bull run. Obviously, the market got shaken a bit, obviously because of the debacle between the two. But for the most part, it was clear cuts. But also as well, because of how bullish things are, you have to expect the front runs. So yeah, I know quite a lot of people kind of even seeing traders that I follow on my X feed, even on my Instagram, quite a lot got long. But also as well, if you were looking to get long here, again, was just on the reclaim of the local profile, which is pulled from this local profile. So obviously got two profiles here, which I'm actually using. So now, because we've done price action, obviously we had, if I just go down, obviously we had, I think it was like 4 hour, was it 4 hour divergences up here? No, I can't see which divergences, but there was divergent price action here. And obviously then what we did is we've come up, rejected this local one up here, the smaller profile, but then also as well, the major one is now we've come into the macro profile, hit the local POC, hit the macro value area high, and then dropped, right? And obviously hit the local and deviated and came back up of the local value area low. So it makes sense here if it is going to go lower for it to now. Obviously, now what it's done is come back up and rejected the value area high of the macro range from November, which is this level here at 106,421. Clearly rejected it. Looking at local price action for the week or the weekend, it was creeping. It was literally from the SFP on Bitcoin, V-shaped reversal, and then obviously went into consolidation, break, retest, decent price action for a change rather than just like straight up, right? So it's looking healthier to me. The one thing I am watching now is just the 4-hour money flow. For anyone that doesn't know, I'll probably say it a few million times, but it's my guide for kind of whether it's longing pullbacks or shorting lower highs, right? At this point, if this crosses green, which I expect it to do, we probably look for a lower high and look for a high low, sorry, to long. But kind of the one thing that was printing earlier was this 2-day green dot, which is quite bullish. And then obviously looking at the high time frames, obviously towards the end of May, we had the 1 month green dot printing. So yeah, I'm just waiting now locally to see what kind of happens. It's looking as if it's going to be long pullbacks. Everyone's calling for a puke or calling for a kind of the run to 96. Specifically, I wouldn't say that would happen this coming week, just based on kind of what I'm seeing on the charts. Obviously, we've had a decent swing failure pattern. We've caught liquidity. Obviously, we've sidelined traders again because people were expecting, or traders were expecting the 100K, didn't get it, front ran. So basically, that also as well causes traders to pile back in because, I've missed a trade, pile back in. So it won't be, it'll be common now, basically just looking on lower time frames quickly, just that we can see, obviously, we've rejected here quite heavy and we're starting to move back, pull back, which it's expected. You've got trend-based liquidity there. You've got obviously all the way lower down as well. You've got trend-based liquidity there. You've got trend-based, so literally trend-based liquidity everywhere. And obviously, weekend traders have had a free ride, right? It's just been up only since Friday or since Thursday, since we had the SFP. It's very little pullback. So yeah, for the most part, I'm expecting Bitcoin to come down again. Retraces are good in a bullish trend, maintain structure. If I was going to say anywhere where I was looking currently, I would probably say around here, around 105.2 to 105.5, kind of this zone here, psychological low. The weekend trap high was obviously the weekend consolidation, which I always map out, which literally happened in the kind of the US session. So basically, the first few hours of the US session usually sets a range for the weekend, and obviously we've broken out, retested it once only there. So kind of that would be my next support. Basically, I'm not really seeing any volume-based levels or kind of volume-based levels or volume profile levels that are kind of confluent there. The only thing I can see currently at this point is VWAPs on my other template. So yeah, kind of anything from 105.2, I was expecting kind of here, this zone here, between the daily VWAP, previous daily VWAP, Fed VWAP, which is kind of just a custom one, kind of key levels where Bitcoin's kind of held good support kind of for a while. So yeah, bar that, it looks as if they're selling off now. So watch 105.2, and then obviously lower case scenario, we've got a local golden pocket, which I think I pulled on the 4-hour. Literally low, or not low to high, but impulse. Just trying to check where I pulled it. So the impulse, it's from this candle on Friday morning up into the high now that we've just hit. We've got a POC of the local range confluence again. So yeah, if not 105.2, probably 104.1 to like 103.7 is kind of where I'm thinking Bitcoin comes down to. But generally looking bullish. I'm not going to get overly bearish yet. Obviously, when we start breaking 100K, then that's obviously a bit more psychological in the sense that we could go down a bit lower. But for now, we hold anything above 102. I think it's probably then going to go kind of for the highs. There is some news this week. I think it's CPR, PPR, and PCE, I think there is this week as well. And then obviously we've got all these tariff things going on as well. So that is something to watch. bar that, I think we're in a good position now to probably go a bit higher and maybe go back up towards 109, 110. Okay. But yeah, that's basically Bitcoin. Should I look at ETH and
Yeah, you can pull that up. And what did you say is probably coming out this week? It's CPI and what else?
sorry, let me just
I think you said
Navigate,
CPI and PPE and Bitcoin Bestie, right?
Hey, shout out to the Billy Goat teams for our record viewers
just
today.
busy looking.
75.
Yeah, CPI on Wednesday, PPI on Thursday, with unemployment claims. That's basically, that's basically all that's coming out. But yeah, we've got tariff things and old man tweets and or just talks, and yeah, it makes the markets quite volatile, which is okay for scalpers, right? Because we catch the volatility and we can use the volatility to our advantage. But yeah, it can be a bit nerve-wracking at times.
So what do we say, Billy? We do ETH and Cardano, and then I guess we're almost at the end of the show, huh?
We don't have to do any more charts. If you guys are happy with that, that's fine.
It's
been quite a good show. Just
and muted.
Am I muted?
Billy.
No, I hear you.
Oh, Billy's hits a lag again, I think.
On StreamYard, you're muted.
Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about
There we
that. My stream's bad. Well, yeah, if we could hit real quick in like 5 minutes, DDT, just real quick, ETH and Cardano, and then we got about 20 minutes at the most, 19 minutes left. So I think we can get it all, Tony.
Blitz, don't worry. I'll blitz it.
Blitz
okay,
it.
so ETH.
Blitzing, baby.
So ETH, basically, we just had this local profile from, I'll just do local price action on ETH, from the 10th of May. It's this local profile here. It's literally been rotating it quite easily, or kind of just, yeah. We probably had 4-hour divergences. Yeah, we had 4-hour divergent price action there from when we hit the value area high, which is this zone, at about 26.45, 26.30, 26.50, give or take, higher. Obviously, had quite a big cascade down. Locally, where we dropped to is this key support of this value area high, doorway to high prices of a macro range, of which I'll just flip back. So it's, I'm just trying to work out which range it is. So it's not on the weekly, but it's kind of here. It's just this zone. So this is kind of where we are kind of bouncing from. So locally, at this point, it's kind of also rejecting again kind of this local POC. So obviously it's done a full rotation, basically. Value area high, deviated very low, SFP'd this kind of key support like 2400, give or take, come back up, reclaim the value area low, and obviously now it's rejected POC. Perfectly range trading as well. ETH for the most part is actually holding up and trading a bit better than kind of what Bitcoin is doing. So it's looking okay. Locally, still key level to hold 2470. I don't know if there's a POC here. Not POC, sorry. Let me just see if I can.
There's always a POC, DDT. Yeah.
It
acts
like POC. I mean,
wow.
I was just looking for a fib level. Yeah, there's fib confluence kind of just in this zone here between like say 2500 to 2470. Still, obviously the local value area low. Kind of that it's trading in. It's literally trading really well at this point. So yeah. Obviously, everyone wants lower ETH now because obviously BlackRock's been accumulating like heavy. So, yeah, it's looking a lot better. And also as well, I'm not going to look at it, but kind of like ETH BTC is moving up a bit. Bitcoin dominance is moving down a bit. So things are kind of slightly favoring ETH a bit more now. Obviously, ETH will drop if Bitcoin drops, but for the most part, I think it's good. Sorry, let's quickly double check money flow. Yeah, 1 hour's green. 4 hours looking to cross, similar to Bitcoin. So yeah, a bit more price action upwards within the next kind of few hours. You should get a 4 hour money flow cross. I think we had where was the daily 2-day? Yeah, daily is looking where Bitcoin's already had its daily green dot confirm yesterday. ETH is literally about to have a green dot, or kind of it could have, and that could be on a trigger wave which is quite good. Kind of specifically, that will give it the push up. And I think 90 minutes already green on the money flow if you're looking for the 1/16th. So yeah, locally, kind of just the two key levels for now. If you're looking local trades, 2470 and then obviously 2400.
All right, let's hit Cardano real quick.
Cardano, I think was sorry, it might be a bit of a spaghetti. Yeah, it's weird with Cardano. The only thing that I'm kind of concerned about with Cardano is, sorry, the only thing I'm kind of concerned with Cardano is it had this weekly trigger wave red dot last week, although it didn't really drop it all that much. It does have a little bit of liquidity down to like the 30 to 40 cents kind of wet pump from previously. So it was also just ranging. It's still kind of like a non-event to me. I'm not really worried about it until it drops 60 cents. Even with the Friday level, it literally, or the Thursday dump, it literally still kind of just stuck in the range that we were looking at, kind of this whole accumulation between like 60 and 67 cents. Yeah, it's a happy camper at this point for me. Yeah, daily money flow I'd like to see cross up. It's kind of curving up, so it's looking okay, but it looks like it wants to just roll over a little bit. 4 hour, 4 hours coming up as well. So I think as well it will trail BTC a bit. So hopefully Bitcoin can kind of find a decent support around 105k, give or take, 105,400 down to 105 kind of 200. Obviously the higher the better, because obviously then the alts won't take that much of a hit. Yeah, so still looking okay. 15-minute money flows, 1 hour money flows good. The 4 hour we wanted to cross green. 15-minute is looking like it's about to reverse back up because it's got like the money flow curving. It's basically got a basic strategy. Everything's kind of trying to on markets upper B, trying to kind of posture back up on the 15-minute. So yeah, still kind of ranging, good accumulation. I think when alts, I think like I was saying last weekend, I think when alts do have a run, Cardano, because it's accumulated so well, it's not really had big swings in price action. It's still a good sign for me specifically.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
So
well, thanks for blitzing those for us. We appreciate it.
If it's going to, yeah, if or when it goes, it's going to go. So, or kind of just by what I'm seeing in the price action. Yeah, so locally, like 60. Locally, probably, yeah, like 64, 65 cents needs to hold kind of over the next few hours. And then I presume it's probably, if it holds that as a higher low, it's probably going to try and make its way back up to 70 cents again.
Love it.
Yeah, that's a quick blitz on all the charts for you guys. Hope that's enough information.
Dude, you cranked it. No, you cranked it. We appreciate it.
No worries.
And
Appreciate it.
To Dave Digital, we've grabbed a hold of the X algo. We're at 695 viewers right now, and most of them are on X. It's like 696. I think we might break 700, which is a record for BGT. It's awesome. Thanks to everybody. So we appreciate it. Cassius lit it up. Cassius lit it up, and so did Jeff's guest too. QUAI Network. QUAI Network.
QUAI Network, Billy. QUAI Network.
QUAI. QAI. I knew I'd get that wrong. But Tony, I know you wanted to get to something.
Yeah, well, I wanted to talk a little bit about the fall for Greenville. So all right, so I'm going to share the screen. I was going to say, but first, and then, I was going to say, but first, there is a poll right now in the chat. You know, did you love the Bitcoin Bestie song? And if you haven't heard it yet, make sure you go listen to it. You know, I might not be too much of a bad bleat boxer. Okay, that was a bad joke. All right.
You got to work on that.
Yeah, I got to work on that. Got to work on that.
All right, you keep trying.
The fall for that's okay. I always
got a lot of echo
on that, and it's okay to laugh at me. You have echo now, really? You have echo?
We love you, Tony. We love you, Tony.
All right.
Yes.
Well, we have the fall for Greenville. Why don't you tell us about it, Billy? I'll see if I can get the echo going.
Echo, we got echo. So, well, the trip, right? October 10th through the 13th. So, what we did is we had our NFT program going. Poman won it. We're going to do a trip to a lake house on Lake Hartwell. So we're going to do some barbecuing. We're going to do some boating. And during that time is the fall for Greenville. What is that, Jimmy? It's a foodie event, right? So it's a taste of Greenville. And there's like 100 restaurants that come out in the streets and you get to sample their food. And there's like 3 or 4 or 5 stages, that all different kinds of music and stuff like that going on. So it's a fun event, and it just so happens it's during our trip. So Poman and I believe his wife, I think I worked it out at Poman. I think I worked it out. So you can bring your wife, and I think you said another friend or something like that. They can stay in the other house. So I got that all squared away for you. And we're going to have a great time. And how did Poman win it? Well, Poman won it because he owns one of our NFTs, right? And if you own one of our NFTs, every year we're going to put you in a hopper, and we're going to spin. And if you win, you get to come in and visit with our team at the lake house. And it was a fun time. This is our first annual event. We're going to have a lot more of them. And that's what, there's the tent. Tony, that's Dave Digital's house right there. He's going to stay there.
That's a nice house.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the echo gone. Yeah. And this is the special beachfront property. No, this is the one we like to share to just kind of mess with Billy a little bit. But really this is the lake that we're going to be
put you in the barn.
on. Yeah, I know. Right? I better watch what I keep doing. But this is not the actual property, but this is a property that is on Lake Hartwell. And so we kind of show this because maybe Billy will get us some pictures of the actual property and we'll start showing those. But, this is an example of kind of just being on the lake. And so, what I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping that we're going to be able to ride in something like this, maybe a Volkswagen thing. A bad thing. Yeah, I know. It was bad. It was bad. But look, here's a picture of Jimmy. It looks like this was during his racing days, on a Volkswagen thing too. It's not really Jimmy. I'm a little much today. Sorry.
Jimmy's muted.
You're muted, Jimmy.
Said I haven't changed a bit.
There you go.
Well, real quick, let's hey, Princess, we appreciate you. Alexo, I think I saw you popped in, my brother. I hope you were here during Cassius's part, man, because they dropped the Miss Teen Crypto music video. So hope you got a chance to hear that. Go ahead, Tony.
No, actually, the video drops tomorrow on Miss Teen Crypto's show, but we dropped the audio.
The audio, sorry. Yeah, I said video. Audio, yeah.
I said it earlier too, but
that's right. You corrected me both times. You're on it, man. You're helping me out, man. I appreciate you.
Oh, and on a totally different note, Billy, those concrete shoes, they came in.
What's that?
Didn't you order some concrete shoes that you wanted for the lake?
Yeah, they came in. Good.
Yeah, okay.
Going to the brick.
10 went in.
Let's see how good he floats.
701.
At the end of the show, are we going to go on to Jimmy's last call here soon?
Yeah, we're close to the end here, so we only have 4 or 5 minutes left, Jimmy. So what we do, Dave's going to cut me off here in a second. So
Jimmy Jim.
Here, let me cut me up.
Dave cut his own self off for a change.
How's it feel, Dave? How's it feel?
Perfect. I just wanted to be fair.
Oh yeah. Well, we've just been playing catch up from being in Vegas for a week. We came home to piles of cards. I think we've spent most of this week trying to process through all of that stuff, but we did find our way to a card show yesterday and turned a nice little $5,000 profit for, I don't know, I think we were there maybe 2.5, 3 hours. We walked the show. We didn't have tables. This is a bigger show. Hopefully in the future we'll be able to get tables at it, but we didn't do bad at all. I was pretty excited to see how well we did. And maybe next week, once we get through some of our rip and reviews, we might do another live rip of some of the Bitcoin cards or the Cardsmith cards that could possibly pull a whole Bitcoin out of. I think those are just a lot of fun. And we're looking to possibly be a distributor for those guys. I'm going to reach out to them this week and try to place an order and see if we can't sneak some of these crypto cards into the sports card game. I think that'd be a lot of fun, especially with degen people that hang out. You think crypto's got degen people, you're get into sports cards. I mean, I think everybody is involved in sports cards is a pretty big degen just for being in that space. But it was a good week. Hopefully we'll get back into some breaks this coming week and pull some more big cards. That's always fun. Yeah, I mean, that's about all I have this week.
Well, that sounds exciting, Jimmy.
Frozen.
He's
He's gonna
frozen.
say that sounds exciting, Jimmy. And I
It's
look
kinda
forward to seeing you
bad.
at the
Open up
weekend,
those
Billy.
Bitcoin cards.
Let me do my Billy
I
impression.
froze. Yeah. Yeah. My
Here
stream, I don't know what's going on. I think since my son moved in, all those extra phones, all that, they got what, iPads, laptops, iPhones. I think it's just
Sucking all your
squeezing my
bandwidth.
service, man. Yeah.
the dinner table's gonna be full now, Billy.
I love it,
I'm
man.
talking
You don't know
about, man.
how,
That's-
how happy I am to
Yeah.
it's just like while we were on stream, my son was walking around out there with his boy. One of his, and I was like, yeah, man, this is good stuff right here. So, but we did get asked to open the club. We have 4 minutes left. Therefore, Jimmy, are we going to open the club?
Cologne, rebel loaded number one sound. Right now, not now. Cologne, rebel. Baby,
$709 viewers, mostly on X. We're in the X algo, so that's really cool.
Welcome, ex-viewers.
Welcome, X viewers. We appreciate you tuning in to Billy Goat Tales. And is it just me, guys, or is like Dave's production transition skills slipping a little bit?
Yeah, he had a week
Maybe.
off.
No, so what had happened is that I normally watch the little bar that goes across the bottom, and we had a banner that was live, so I had to go take that banner off so that I could see the progress bar, and then I messed that up a little bit.
I messed that up. Yeah, all right, man. We got to give you a hard time, right? Well, guys, listen, we appreciate everybody for tuning in to Billy Goat Tales. We love you. Taco Berry, we see you in there, buddy. We see you. Taco Berry's our mascot. Is he around you, Jimmy, or is he over on?
He might be outside the door here.
Taco Berry's our new
I'll see
mascot.
if the door comes flying open. Okay.
Alex says, let's open the club.
Taco Berry outfit.
I hear footsteps.
Da, 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 da.
I think my chat and everything's
Berry.
Taco Berry.
Berry.
We see Mrs. Candle's hand. Hey, brother. Good to see you, man.
Let's go Astros.
We got to get you a mascot like outfit.
The golden goal. All right, guys, we're going to shut it down. Thanks for you all tuning in. We appreciate you. Alex, good to see you. Great work. Jimmy Jim, I think that's what he meant. Or great work from Jam. I don't know. Burke, good to see you. Erica, we always appreciate you. Everybody, we love you. Thank you very much. Helped us set a record today. We appreciate that. And until next time, we are see you next Sunday for sure. But
Don't forget about
Tuesday.
Keith.
Tuesday, yeah, Keith. We gotta get to Keith. But Tuesday we are doing a 5 traits of successful entrepreneurs. Don't want to miss that on the X Space, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will see you there.
We are Billy Goattail. We love you, fam. Hashtag givers gang. 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 We are Billy Goattails. We are Billy Goattails.